Cooney, loser, bold guy. Cooney, 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 Cooney. Cooney, 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 Cooney. Cooney, 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 Cooney. Cooney, Cooney, upstays alive.
Welcome back to Raccoon Tweeties podcast. Great having you back. Last week was a great episode.
Oh,
We
yeah.
went into the life of Coco Briscoe. We do want Coco to come on the show. I haven't built up the confidence to ask her to do it, but do you think we can do that? Like a video kind of thing?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
But
I'm
I'm going to cut you off real quick. I just want to talk to the people.
Mm-hmm.
Just, if you guys could please just stop asking me to, I can't get Brendan to talk about flappers. So I would just appreciate it if they would stop.
Yeah, stop messaging Gerardo and telling him that we need more Flappers content.
Yeah.
We have quite enough. And it's just, he has a successful podcast on his own that he has to deal with. So enough is enough, okay? The
Yeah,
man
sorry about that, dude.
Gets no sleep. His apartment has construction being done on it. I wish I could show you the window. It's hilarious. He got new windows, and he had blinds that were the right size for the old window, and now they're not the right size. So there's like a small square that you can see into his apartment now, and it would frustrate me. And
Yes.
as you know, Gerardo is he has an anger, kind of like I do. So angry. So there's been a lot of cursing going on at the landlord's expense.
Oh, yeah. I was cursing a lot.
But I'm proud of you. You didn't yell at the landlord at all. I was like, this is a new man here.
Dude, I'm political. And you know what?
I don't know why you keep saying you're political.
I'm political, dude. That's what people call it in the scene. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I just want to say shout out to Luke Schwartz, dude, because if he could do it, I can too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, actually, Luke will come up in the story, but there's not really much of a story. But
Oh, shit.
I over the weekend I went over to watch the first Apocalypto show, which is shout out to Caitlin Jeffers and Vince Caldera are running a show at the Offbait. There's going to be another one. I don't know when it is, but check out Apocalypto. And I think
Dude, I really wanted to go, honestly, but I went to go see Sonic. But go ahead.
Yeah. Sonic. I mean, you can't. That's your shit.
I was
He
talking
has
to you
blue
about
pants. He literally dressed up like Sonic. I have blue pants on as well. So
First of all, quick review, great movie. But
Yeah.
How was the show?
So the show was great, and Simon Gibson was on it. So I ran into Simon, and we ended up. He was like, "Hey, let's go." Brouhaha's back. Do you know what Brouhaha is?
He's a comic, right?
No, Brouhaha is like a comedy show that was really big back in the day. Brad Silnutzer's show. It's like some sort of drinking show where like the comedians don't drink, the audience does, and they have these secret words and stuff. I could explain it better, but I did end up going there, and I got too drunk to really follow the rules of the game. But anyway, so Simon's like, let's go to Brouhaha. It's back for the first time. I'm like, all right, yeah, I'll hang out this weekend. He's like, yeah, me, you, MK Paulson, we'll go and hang out and then go to the Brouhaha. So I get a text from him the next day at work, and he's like, you still want to like do this? And I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? It sounds cool. And I thought that was like a little weird at the text, but I mean, it's checking in, so I might have done the same thing. But anyways, I show up at his place, and there's no MK. It's just a girl, a woman, and him. And I'm like, cool, and it's not a comedian. It's like a nice, cool woman who ended up being great. But I mean, I was like, am I in a threesome date right now? Like, are we like, am I a third wheel, or what's going on here?
Well, is Paulson somebody that you would have a threesome with?
No, MK Paulson wasn't there.
Oh, but
he drove off to like call. I thought it was gonna be the boys. The boys getting drunk. Having a good time, letting loose, reliving glory days. It was not the boys. It was two men and a woman who maybe is gonna sleep with one of the men. I'm putting his business out there. I just realized that I shouldn't have said the sleep part, but whatever. He'll never listen to this shit. So like, yeah, it was weird. I was like, dude, we're like. I was like, fine, like, naming names.
A producer's dream, dude.
It wasn't weird until I said the sleeping with part, I don't think. But whatever. I'm not, for all I know, they're just good friends or whatever. But, we had a good time. We went to Brouhaha and saw the show. And then Bianca Cristovo, another shout-out episode, texted me. She had a development spot at the Comedy Store. So I figured... I might as well just roll there because this looks like a date kind of. And I would have rolled there anyways if because I just want to hang out. But anyways, I rolled to the store and I ran into old Luke drinking a little bit, firing out his thoughts left and right of the store.
Did he say my name at all?
He did. Yeah, that's what he actually brought up. He was like, Gerardo. I was like, I don't know if I should do the show. I don't know if I should do it. And he said you're cool. He didn't have anything to do with you. What? But he was like, should I do it? He was kind of drunk. He was like, I don't know. I like just being Lukish.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, yeah, man, if you want to. I was like, do you want to? And he was like, I don't know. Should I? And I'm like, okay, yeah.
He wants to. He's being an asshole.
Well, and then I was like, are you free on Mondays? He was like, yeah. That made me laugh. I don't remember what we talked about.
Well, dude, now that I got new windows, man, I'm willing to bring anyone over here.
I know, you just got to cover up that small thing. There's no way Luke will let you get away with that. That looks ridiculous. The roast king of the Comedy Store, come on. Luke did something once in a roast battle I've never seen anyone else do. He had some joke and he flubbed it, and as soon as he flubbed it, he was like, all right, I flubbed the joke, I'm gonna lose, so fuck it. And he like walked off stage. I've never seen anyone do that, just like immediately be like, no, that's, since I did wrong this one time, it's over. And I concede. I don't want to. He was right though. I mean, if you flubbed, then but most people would like try and like embarrass themselves. What do we talk about? I mean, I don't know if I need to bring up all the amazing secrets that we discussed, but it was a good time. One of the things that I wanted to talk about was like, like how we made fun of D'Elia in one of the episodes where it was like, duh, the Dolphins, bro. Like I kept doing that over and over again. D'Elia is like fine. I mean, well, I shouldn't say that. I don't know. I meant like comedically or whatever. You know, like when I see him at shows, he does really well. Like it's not necessarily my kind of comedy, but he there's no arguing that he wasn't very successful. That's right. But there's like a kind of comic now that's sort of like D'Elia-ish, where they're like the cool guy comic, kind of like Devin did. That, remember that video that Devin did where he's like, "Yes, I'm the cool guy" comic, and he does all those. Yeah, that's hilarious. There's like tons of those guys.
Andrew Schultz.
Yeah, people say it's him, but in reality, there's like a lot of people. Yeah. I actually agree with like he was like, no, it's not Schultz or whatever. It's like a lot of people. Yeah. Some of them actually there are comics that remind me more of it than Schultz.
Well, Andrew Schultz is actually clever though.
I've never really seen his stand-up. Yeah. So I can't judge him. I just know I've seen some clips online where it just seems like he's saying like, like the most offensive thing he can think about, and like that's like it's funny. I don't think it doesn't really offend me, that he will say something about like, I don't know, chicks or mentally handicapped people or something like that. Yeah. But it's not necessarily funny. Like it doesn't make me laugh. But that's whatever. That's neither here nor there. These guys, they're like dudes that wear backwards hats, long sweatshirts, like hoodies, like it might say, I love cough syrup or something like that. Or like
promethazine.
Yeah, or like I don't what do they say? They like pop cultural phrases of things, like if there's like a new drug or
no cap.
No, yeah, it might, something like cap, like or like
but what about these guys?
Woke AF. Well, I was thinking they have the same accent. It's all sort of like that D'Elia, like Dolphins, yeah, or like, yo man, like kind of like what Devin was doing. So I was thinking, are they gonna do that into old age? Like when they're older, like, yo, duh, I'm in couples therapy, bro, with my wife, dude. Or like, duh, man, my 401k, dude. Like, do you guys got that shit, dog? Like, so like they're gonna start having to do jokes like that.
Dude, dentures are no joke, dude.
Yeah, I was talking to my grandson the other day, dude. Like, dude, he's like 18 years old, bro. Like, dude, man, like crazy shit. Like, I never thought that like I would be the guy to write a will. Okay, but I'm like 75 years old now. They are like, dude, back in like Vietnam, when I was serving in Vietnam, dude. Like, how old do they change or what? Because they're not going to stop doing stand-up. A lot of these guys do very well. I'm sort of shitting on them, but, you know, like, I see them on shows.
Yeah.
That's where I see it. And people love it. I was at this show the other day, and this guy was on stage, backwards hat, hoodie, looked like he was in. When I saw him before in the green room, he was doing this. He was like,
dude.
he was like everybody else. This just show was so wild, and people were like having crazy, like it was loud as fuck, and he was just in the green room like,
the leg's not even resting.
Like dead, and then he would like get up and walk around like,
dude.
Yo, dude.
No cap.
You fucking, that was great. No, really, like, you had a great set, dude. They, like, bombed. And then he goes up, he's like, hey, like, what up, dude? Like, you know what celebrity I look like, dude? 15 minutes on that. Hey, man, like, these chicks, dude, like, I fucking, da. Oh, look at this guy. Like, where are you from, dude? Look at this guy. Look at what he's doing. And then it was destroying with all this stuff. And I lost some respect for the audience from it, but I just...
Where was this?
How long, I don't want to say where it was, but how long can they do that? This like, dude, World War II, bro. I lived through that shit, dude. It was in London, dude. Like, I'm like, what if Chris D'Elia was a vampire? He's like, what if you get canceled as a vampire? That would suck because you can't die.
Yeah.
And you're just canceled forever. Like D'Elia, he may legitimately be a vampire. He's just like crawling around for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
But then he's back on shows now, so he can at least do stand-up, what he loves.
Yeah.
And he hasn't been arrested or even charged with anything as far as I know, and it doesn't seem to be any real proof of any of this stuff.
But you
so
know
I
what,
really
dude?
struggle with it.
I was thinking about it recently, dude, and he doesn't really talk about it that much, at least not on a public forum.
What
Happened with him. And it makes me think that like he was doing the whole he was like surfing the waves of like age limits in different states. And that's just fucking disgusting.
That is disgusting. Yeah. No, there's no excuse for that. And
which is legal, but gross, dude.
Yeah, if he was doing that, I mean, he has some serious mental issues he needs to look into, and also it's predatory or whatever to be like, are you 18 yet? But I don't even know if he was doing that.
Yeah.
Was he doing that?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
It really has nothing to do with me. I really was just bringing him up so I can make fun of these other guys.
Dude, can I tell you something that I realized recently, dude?
Right.
I've been listening. I don't know if you listen to this. It's a great podcast, The Doorcast, which Luke Schwartz hosts.
Yeah.
And I came to a realization, dude.
What's that?
Luke Schwartz said on the podcast, he said, like, you know, you could be complimentary of door guys, but don't be overly complimentary of door guys. And then I paused the episode and I was like, fuck, dude. I shouted out Luke Schwartz for the last fucking 6 episodes.
What did he mean? Like as a person there?
Yeah, as a person there. But even then, we're like, you know.
Overly complimentary of door guys in what sense?
Shout out Luke Schwartz. Fucking.
But he wasn't talking about us.
No, I know, but you know how that brain works. Like,
but does he mean like people at the store that come up to them and they're like,
basically like know your time, like get away from me after a certain point, which I respect him for that.
If you're up in someone's face, but that's not just door guys.
But I did pause the video and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing, dude? You know?
Some people really don't get the whole like, okay, that's enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
do you think I get that?
I don't ever see you compliment anyone.
Thank you, dude. Dude.
In real life, you're not. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. You're friendly enough. You say, nice set or something like that.
Tight, dude.
Yeah. I mean, you could definitely be more outgoing. You don't know who any comedians are.
True. I mean, I'm working on that, and I am working on that in the next coming weeks. So look out. Dude.
Yeah, look out. Jardo's looking to. He knows 2 comedians right now. He's looking to know 5. Frank Castillo and Luke Schwartz, the only 2 people you know. 2 prickly guys.
I don't even know Luke Schwartz.
Oh yeah, you barely know Luke. That's true.
No, I know of him though, obviously, because I went to the potluck every Monday, and
I forgot. You would go there and like, what were you wearing, a mask or something? How do you not know anybody?
I would just not talk to anyone. I didn't know you were supposed to talk to people there.
The few times I would go to potluck, it was like impossible not to like run into people and like learn people's names and get to know them. I made like a really good British friend from potluck. He's like, oh mate, I was just looking for a job, mate, and like I went in there and I was like, can I get a job here? And they're like, oh, bloody, you can't work here because you don't have your papers or whatever, but do the open mic. I was like, all right, then I'll do the open mic then. And I bombed, man. I was not good. No one liked what I was saying. Everything he said made me laugh.
Yeah.
Ethan, that guy's hilarious. He like probably could have gotten a job eventually just by being as ridiculous as he is. But he was like my first comedic friend.
Have you ever gone up on potluck?
Yeah, I did.
Did you do bad ever?
I didn't really do bad. I did pretty okay. The one thing that happened that was funny was while I was on stage, the mic ripped out and I was like new, so I was like doing this for like a full minute, so I ran way over time. I was like, and another thing, after I fixed it, I just did like 5 more minutes. And Stuart was nice about it. He was the host.
Stuart Thompson?
Yeah, because I like ran way over time and he didn't cut me off or anything. I think that was the first time I met him and I went up to him and was like, hey man, sorry, I didn't realize that I had run over the time. And he's like, dude, I don't care if I live or die. No, I'm just kidding. But he didn't care. That was my friend. And then that same night I got up on Kill Tony. I did terrible. I've told this story so many times. I didn't get like made fun of or anything, but I did not do well. And I was like, why am I doing this? They'll fucking let people judge you. And then also I was all nervous and I just didn't. I ate shit. But now I'm the greatest comedian of all time.
The only time I ever did potluck, I bombed, dude.
What's that?
The only time I ever did potluck, I bombed.
Well, most people bomb.
Yeah.
I mean, I was doing I think I might have done a street joke in potluck.
Jesus Christ.
I know, it's worse. There's worse things than bombing.
Yeah.
You can have yourself doing a racist street joke on Kill Tony. Look it up. Look
really?
Up my thing. Yeah, probably. It's probably on there. It's
sweating?
like arguably racist. It's like not really racist. It's just stupid. It's like the joke is like
You didn't even want to say
so
it.
embarrassing. I've told it on the podcast before. So it's out there. But there was a chef that told me a story about a woman he's in this grocery store and he's in line waiting to buy something. And there's a woman standing behind him and all of a sudden an entire ham falls out of her dress. And she looks down and she looks up and she goes, who be throwing hams? Who be throwing hams? So I tried to turn that into like a long bit because the guy told me it was real. And I was like, can I use that? Because he wasn't a comedian. He's like, oh yeah, it's real. Yeah, definitely go ahead and do it. Asshole. I was so dumb. Because when you start out in comedy, you're an idiot. You do what, I don't know, or at least I was. Everything I said was stupid.
Yeah.
People that are good and like have smart things to say when they start, I'm like, how do you do that?
Same. London Lee, dude.
Yeah, London Lee is amazing. It's almost like everything he says is funny.
Yeah.
He's really good.
This one time, my girlfriend's son was like, I got a joke, dude. He was like 6 years old. He goes, I got a joke, dude. I'm like, what? He goes, what do you call fake pasta? I was like, what? He goes, impasta. Right?
Like no London Lee shit.
But then I looked at him, I was like, did you fucking write that, dude? I didn't know that was like a popular joke. You know what I mean?
You were impressed by a popsicle stick joke.
Yes. I mean,
mine's still more embarrassing.
And that was me 7 years into comedy, dude.
Yeah, man. That's what I like. Give people leeway. If you see someone who's new and they're saying things that are offensive, it's because they're just starting out. They don't know what they're doing. There's gonna be less of that now because people are aware of what bad material is.
Yeah.
But when I first started, I really didn't have the intelligence to be able to decipher what is good, what's offensive, what's like worth saying, what's a waste of time.
You didn't have the wherewithal.
I just wasn't. You're not ready when you start.
Yeah.
So you can, but then like, and the people have different tastes and like different things that they go at. So when I started, I was like, I don't know, maybe trying to push people's buttons or something like that.
Yeah, you didn't know your ass from your elbow, dude.
But now, it's all changed. I've focused singularly on flappers.
Yes.
And I have some of the best flappers tweets out there.
Did you want to say something about the rest in peace first?
Oh, I told you that before. I wasn't going to bring it, but
oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. Well, I don't really know her that well, but I do rest in pieces from time to time on the show. And Sarah Musjajabi, she was a door girl at the store. She passed away. She did start not to make it about myself, but she did start interacting with me on Twitter a year ago. Never a good sign. But just kidding. No, I'm sure that had nothing to do with whatever happened. But she was always very nice to me. Seemed like a nice person. So sorry to see you go. Rest in peace, Sarah Musjajabi. Let's have a moment of silence.
Oh, dude.
I don't think I've ever done a moment of silence before, but I have talked about people dying. On the
I do gotta say though, it was powerful, dude. What are you gonna do?
There was. Oh yeah, thank you. I hope that was good. CDC came out with a list of words that like have different things to say. Do you hear about this?
No.
It's like, you know how people say, don't say this, try saying that kind of thing? Like instead of like, I don't know, you're not supposed to say the bad. Do you think you look up CDC words? Can you look it up?
Yeah. So like, don't say kung flu.
Definitely. Well, that's not even one of them. People should just know not to say kung flu.
Sorry.
But no, it's not all like diseases. It's like, instead of saying homeless people, you have to say persons experiencing homelessness.
Oh, okay.
So stuff like, I just want to hear your thoughts and talk it out.
What the fuck?
There's too many words.
Okay, well, this is from 2017, but forbidden words are vulnerable, entitlement, diversity, transgender, fetus, evidence-based, and science-based.
No, let me see if I can find it. Did you search CDC words?
I looked up CDC bad words.
Try CDC words.
Okay. Because, you know, I heard those words a lot since 2017.
Forbidden words.
What are the forbidden words? Oh, no, that's just in America, 2003.
Damn, I was looking at it the other day. I should have saved it.
Yeah, dude, what the fuck?
Forbidden words, fetus, transgender, diversity.
See? That's what I'm saying.
But where's the actual list? Maybe the CDC.
I heard that Philadelphia is going to start, what's it called? Requiring indoor masks again. Dude, I've enjoyed the time without masks. Do you wear a mask still?
I think I found it. Oh, here it is. No, yeah, I wear a mask at work. I'm gonna text it to you so you can find
Okay.
it. Does that work?
Text to me, yeah. Were you taking a screenshot?
No, I'm gonna send you the link.
Okay.
It's CDC's Health Equity Guiding Principles for Inclusive Communication. Do I wear a mask? Yeah, I wear a mask at work, although you don't have to. Some people don't. And I'm like, sometimes it's like half the way off. But now there's a new variant. God knows what that means. I don't want COVID. Chris Estrada got COVID. The whole comedy community was devastated for days. Yeah. Chris is okay. I saw him tweet that he's okay. He doesn't have it anymore.
Oh yeah, I saw that. He's like, put me back on your show, bitches. Right?
Also, yeah, I gave that a like. I'm also, when I was at Simon's, he told me that Katie French redid his apartment. You know, she has that YouTube show.
Oh yeah.
She has like a big show too, and she like redid his thing. I made me be like, maybe I should do that. Maybe I should ask Katie for help, but I don't think Estrada would like that. Like, I'm okay with you helping Simon, but Brandon is a bridge too far.
Sorry, you can keep going. I'm fixing this.
Yeah, no worries.
The video's still going though.
Good. Yeah, man. I'll say this: the design was very good. I was impressed. Simon's place looked really nice. They had some sort of wall design that I guess she did.
Yeah.
I wonder where she learned all this stuff. I've never watched her show, but I should check it out before I ask her for help, how to save my life.
Also, I've always wondered, like, I live in this apartment, you know, but I rent.
Yeah.
Like, am I allowed to, like, swag this place out, dude?
You know, it's better to do than beg. It's better to beg for forgiveness than ask for whatchamacallit? Was it permission?
Permission, yeah.
I do that. I swagged out my place a little bit. Put up some wall art. Got a rug under my bed.
Dude, I want to get a fucking bed frame so bad, dude. My bed is on the floor.
Get a frame. It's easy to get a frame. I got one for my California king size bed, you know, with my luxury sheets on it. But am I advertising myself? A little bit.
Are you trying to talk to the women out there?
Trying to talk to the women out there. Women listening. Look, I'm improving so much.
All right, so what are these words here?
So these are like words that they're saying that you shouldn't use. So instead of this, but they write them out. So
okay. So for corrections and detentions, I'll say the words, then you tell me your thoughts.
Okay.
So for corrections and detentions, instead of saying inmate, prisoner, convict, offender, criminal, parolee, detainee, they want you to say a shit ton of words, dude.
Yeah. So I'm the first one. So instead of saying inmate, that's it. People or persons who are incarcerated or detained, often used for shorter jail stays for youth in detention facilities or other persons awaiting immigration proceedings and Can you imagine? I guess part of that's in parentheses. So really, it's just. Instead of saying prisoner or inmate, you say people or persons who are incarcerated or detained.
But detained is not another word you can't say.
That is confusing. Well, detainee. So you can say detained, but not detainee. This is like a un botella de agua situation. It's just too many words. People who were formerly incarcerated
Yeah.
instead of prisoners
Yeah.
are parolees.
And then instead of a prisoner, yeah. That's crazy, dude.
This is just too many, like, it's just too many words. It's not that the thought is bad, or I just don't. Here's some of these words, like inmate, prisoner, convict, offender, criminal. The problematic part of it is like within the eye of the beholder.
Yeah.
Because I mean, someone being an inmate doesn't mean something bad to me.
Yeah.
Really, they're just were in jail. It's not like I mean, it's bad to be in jail. It's bad to commit crimes.
I mean, inmate doesn't sound that bad. Fucking incarcerated is a gnarly word, dude. That sounds like somebody got burned to death.
It does sound like that.
You know?
He was incarcerated. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. How did it happen? So he's dead then.
I always knew him to be a fan of fire. Okay, sorry.
There's got to be like I know there's a way to like comedically, like we got to do like words for, instead of saying open mic, or say this or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
We can do that later. But let's go to disability. This one is going to be a little more.
Okay. Instead of saying disabled, differently abled.
First of all,
nobody
who
says
that.
Yeah, nobody says
No one has ever
No.
said differently abled. That sounds like you're trying to be like woke or something.
Yeah.
All right, we'll keep going.
You'd think differently abled would be the ones you can't say.
Yeah.
Afflicted. Nobody says that either. Have you ever said afflicted?
I mean, afflicted, yeah, with a disease, sure. But I don't, I haven't personally said it.
But you don't refer to like, oh yeah, Brendan, that's the guy that's afflicted, huh?
That would sound really fucked up. That sounds like you're making fun of them. So I'm glad they put that on. Let's get rid of that one.
So handicapped and confined to a wheelchair or wheelchair bound.
So I think that that last one is weird. Like if somebody were to just say like that so and so is confined to a wheelchair. I've also thought it's weird when I have heard people say on their wheelchair bound. It's like they're making them into a movie or something.
Yeah.
That I don't like. But so try this. People with disabilities, people who are, all of these things are like people that, like, I still thought they were people when I said disabled. I went like, what is that?
Well, what if we just say less abled?
Less abled is like you're saying they're less abled or whatever.
Well, let's be honest. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
Gerardo's canceled.
Well, what's differently abled? They're saying to say people who are deaf or hard of hearing. They're differently able, but they also, I don't know.
It would be funny to read this off at the roast battle, like before the roast battle, like before you tell your jokes. I know you wrote some jokes, but instead of saying this, can you also say, can you say, instead of saying the R word, can you say, no, I'm not going to say that. Like that sounds even worse.
Yes.
People with an intellectual but I'm only saying that because the roast battle, that's what they do.
Yeah.
People with an intellectual or developmental disability, people who use a wheelchair or mobility device.
I mean, confined is kind of like smoke and mirrors. You don't know what really, like some people don't know what confined even means. So
yeah, you might not. They might be saying not to use it because like a large section of the American population would be like, "What would that mean?"
Yeah, exactly.
Huh? What you mean, man? You trying to what you mean confined?
I mean, saying people
just because someone's in a wheelchair doesn't mean they're a homosexual. Confined? No one in my family's confined. You get confined when you take the vaccine.
You can't confine me.
You can't. I'm not confined.
So I have a story about the next ones.
Notes.
Oh, notes. Notes. Avoid using vulnerable when describing people with disabilities. Vulnerable is a good trait to have, dude.
Yeah, that they mean it vulnerable. They don't mean it vulnerable like that.
Yeah, but
they mean vulnerable to disease, not like vulnerable like they're vulnerable like they tell the truth and are empathic.
Well, let's be honest. People that are disabled are more likely to cry. You know what I mean? Sorry.
Are more likely to cry. Gerardo is just canceling himself left and right. We might have to use some of these words for Gerardo. Drugs, substance. All right, what were you got a story about?
So drugs and substance. Did I ever tell you the story about Isimo Patreon?
Which one?
So on the Patreon, you know me, I'm an alcoholic and I'm sober, right?
Right.
So we often talk on the Patreon about sobriety. And like, me and Dominic have a past with drugs. And so we'll share our experiences on there, referring to ourselves as addicts, right?
Wait, Dominic's sober?
No, but he's had a past with drugs.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry, Dominic.
Yeah, we're shouting out people's shit. That's what we do on this pod.
I
Sorry.
mean, he said it on a much larger pod, so I don't think he'll mind.
Listen, hey, on a much larger pod, why don't you use one of the words? There should be a word that helps with my feelings. But keep going.
Oh, that was hilarious.
It's been said on a much larger pod. You hear that? This fucking guy.
It's been said on the podcast who uses a wheelchair. Sorry, I don't know.
Who uses a wheelchair? What do you?
I'm trying to be nicer. I don't know.
Well, you're confined to being an idiot. All right, no, but keep.
No,
telling
but
me.
anyway, so this one guy one day on the Discord on our Patreon was like, "Yo, guys, I would really appreciate. People don't like to be referred to as addict. They like to be referred to people that use drugs, right?
People that use drugs.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we proceeded to talk about it on the next episode, and he blocked us everywhere.
Good. Fuck that guy. Look, you gotta if you're gonna be addicted to drugs, get some thin skin or thick skin. Thick skin. Yeah. Maybe thin skin because then the needle goes in easier. But dude, I got my blood. I got a blood test the other day, and spoiler alert, I'm all okay. I don't have diabetes. I don't have chlamydia or not chlamydia. What was I gonna say? Syphilis. No HIV, thankfully. Yeah. And also all my levels are normal.
So you're not differently abled?
Apparently I'm not differently. I'm not a person who's experiencing diabetes. But anyways, the guy told me when you get, I don't know if you when you get blood taken by the phlebotomist, sometimes you get the guy who's like, oops, oh man, sorry about that. Oh shit. I had one of those guys. He was jabbing the thing in there and he's like, oh dang it. Got to get another thing. Oh shit. And so, he was like, I got to get the butterfly one, man. So you really need a thin needle. I'm going to try a thin needle. So he sticks the thin needle in and it works right away. He's like, that's what we needed. We needed a thin needle. He's like, dude, next time, dude, you just make sure they do a thin needle because you need that. So I guess my blood is I don't know. My
Dude,
veins
you got
need
thick ass blood, dog.
I don't even know why that is, but now I know. Anyways, drug and substance abuse. So this guy told you can read them if you want.
All right. Instead of using drug users, addicts, drug abusers, alcoholics, abusers, persons taking / prescribed medication assisted treatment. All right. Yeah.
Yeah. First of all, some of these things are things that people just don't say. Person who relapsed.
Persons who relapsed.
Instead of this shit is they're not even the offensive ones. Like crackhead should be on there. Stop calling people crackhead.
For real, yeah. Crackhead should be on there, dude.
Yeah, because that's what all that.
They're like, nah, dude, call him a crackhead.
The CDC is like crackhead is actually okay.
It's actually one of the try this ones. It says crackhead right there.
Blunt smokers.
And then also, I should say they put smokers up there. Usually, smokers are the ones that get shit on by everyone, dude.
Smokers say smokers.
Yeah.
Who's offended? The reason that smokers are offended is because they can't smoke anymore.
Yeah.
But now they do vape. Now you can vape everywhere.
That's how you know the left's getting out of hand, dude.
The only place you can't vape is planes.
Yeah.
Smoking, there's no more smoking section. People just vape right in front of you.
Which allegedly, I've vaped all the way here and to Mexico and back, baby.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But there's no vape laws in Mexico?
Allegedly, I just did it without allegedly looking, dude.
You can't get arrested for not marijuana vapes. You can still get busted for that. That chick, unfortunately, we pray for your safe return. Brittany Griner is in Russia. Is she still in Russia?
Yeah, she's always trending on Twitter, dude.
God damn it, Putin, you son of a bitch. Persons who use drugs.
So these
people
are the ones
who inject drugs.
These are the ones you're supposed to use.
You're supposed to use. Coco Briscoe is someone who injects drugs. No, I'm kidding. I'm sure she's sober.
You're being nice by saying that, dude.
Yeah, that's right. I'm saying it the correct way.
Yeah.
People keep that. How's Kevin doing? Oh, he's someone who injects drugs. Person with substance abuse disorders. Again, that's way too wordy.
Yeah.
Persons in alcohol. Recovery from substance use. Alcohol disorder. So you have to say the /. It'd be funny if you said it and then you didn't say / disorder and people are like,
it's so funny that they're always asking you to refer to these people as persons.
Yeah, that is a constant constant thing that comes. Persons who return to use.
Because in my opinion, they're not people, dude.
This is like a fuck. And the fucking substance abuse center or whatever, and there's probably a politically correct way of saying that. The people that work there that don't get paid enough have to memorize this shit.
Yeah.
Someone's like, So they catch somebody who's like fucking jacking off or like smoking meth and like acting crazy, and they're like, looks like it's another person who returned to use. Instead of being like, hey Kevin, stop that, like, tackle him, get him with the fucking whatever.
But they could also just say crackhead, dude.
I think crackhead is hilarious.
Yeah.
If I were a crackhead and I smoke, I can't put myself in their shoes, but I think it would be funny if someone called me a crackhead.
Yeah.
I think I'd laugh. I'd be like, I finally did it.
It actually says right here, person who is a crackhead, dude.
There's this guy, Jason, I forget he's a funny comedian. He's a paid regular at the store.
Jason Gillern?
Yeah, Jason Gillern. And he tweeted about, he said Hunter Biden is like the most famous crackhead. And I replied, I'm going to change that. Like saying I'm going to be a crackhead. But anyways, that's just my tweets. Healthcare access and access services and resources.
So instead of saying undeserved people.
Underserved.
Oh.
Underserved.
No, that's underserved. You're right. Fuck you.
I read it before. That's the only reason I got it. Gerardo is very smart.
I'm at an angle too.
It wasn't even necessary to say Gerardo's smart. It made me sound like I was saying you're dumb. But I'm not saying that. Other people have said that, and I have said
What the
it.
fuck?
I turned into a Josh Gerardo episode. Go back and check those out. Those are
dude,
the funniest I've ever
I was
been.
checking them out the other night, dude.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Dude, shitting on Josh is so fun.
It's so funny.
And then just like randomly be like, Gerardo's fat.
But he's cool though.
But he's cool though.
Anyways,
Josh's dad. Josh's dad is for the underserved population. People who have returned to youth. People with a son who's
oh my god. Anyways, underserved people / community / the underserved. Which I don't. Have you ever considered somebody to be underserved?
Yeah, I have. Well, that's one of the phrases that is used in like the one I told you about how we went.
It's a Bakersfield.
Yeah, my job went to Bakersfield because that's a very. I guess I shouldn't say underserved. People who are underserved live in that specific community, so we brought them Christmas gifts. Otherwise, they wouldn't have gifts for Christmas. So we did that, and it was good. But underserved is like a thing that a lot of these nonprofits use to describe communities that don't receive funding, that don't have the means to do what middle class and even lower middle class sometimes have the ability to do. They may have not have access to fruits and vegetables, or they don't have access to the same kind of healthcare or schooling, or just like basic shit. So that is what underserved means. I mean, I don't know. I sound ridiculous because I don't know. The CDC people know more than I do about this kind of shit.
Yeah.
But I mean, why do you have to waste people's time? People who are underserved by, and then put the specific. Underserved is not bad. Hard to reach populations. Why is that bad?
Yeah, the next one's hard to reach populations, which, cell service. Right?
I mean, maybe that's part of it, but
I've always been a stand for more towers, dude.
It's people who have Sprint.
Yeah.
That's hard to reach. In Gerardo's interpretation, he's like, we have to help these people that have Sprint.
I have Sprint, asshole.
I have to be able to help myself. Listen, Cricket Wireless. No, I think hard to reach populations means like maybe it's harder to get access to them to give them assistance and aid.
Well, you know what, dude? Where the fuck on this list is Trump supporter, dude?
Right, Trump. What's the best way of saying that?
Person who supports Trump.
That could be for like someone who's stupid or something.
What?
Person who's returned to use.
Person who's returned. Oh yeah, they did include that. All
people who are medically underserved. People who are uninsured. People who are underinsured. People who do not have health insurance.
I like how they just get to the
yeah. It's like it's like
the very end.
Listen, you're either some of you are uninsured, some of you are underinsured, and some of you just don't have jack shit. You ain't got nothing. So I'm here for all three.
Yeah.
Whether you got nothing, a little bit of nothing, or a little of nothing, we're here. I will never say that you're uninsured, even though we just did. That makes no sense.
Yeah. And also, in case you missed it, there's a note at the bottom. Underserved relates to limited access to services that are accessible, which doesn't really make sense.
I love when I start mansplaining on the thing and I don't know what I'm talking about. That's a large part of what's happened so far.
I mean,
But-
dude, I don't have a fucking PhD, dude.
I know we're just guys here.
We're just average Joes looking at a list.
Dude, like I was talking to my grandson the other day, dude.
What, do you feel bad about what we're doing right now?
No, I like talking it out.
Because this whole list so far, there's not one single suggestion that I think does anything.
They should maybe have people like us in the boardroom with
Yeah.
them and the scientists.
Yeah.
But like that's what I'm saying is like these dudes. I assume a lot of this is Ivy League generated and like the smartest minds even outside of just America coming up with this shit. And I think it's stupid.
I mean, I miss the days where we just assume everyone's a person. We don't have to say person that is fucking rocking a sick ass tattoo, or like we're
Yeah.
comedians. We don't have to say person who does comedy.
I almost think this is like looking down on people that are underserved.
Exactly.
I truly think that most people who end up in difficult situations are in that situation because of the what they were born into.
Yeah.
It usually has a lot of times it seems to have very little to do with like who they are, the choices they made. And even the choices they made are highly influenced by their background. So I don't look down at somebody if they don't have if they're underinsured or do not have health insurance. I'm just like, there's probably a reason. It's probably not your fault.
Yeah.
It might be your fault, but it also very likely is not. So like these people, when this part goes into the whole punching down thing, I think that's stupid because punching down, I do not think I'm better than all the people I make fun of. I make fun of Gerardo all the time for being fat.
The fuck?
Do I think I'm better than Gerardo? No. Gerardo clearly, he already mentioned his podcast is significantly better than mine. Called it larger. Okay. But he's someone who's confined to being an angry asshole. So, but,
A fat piece of shit.
fat piece of shit. My podcast is good. Open micers like it. Okay. Homelessness. I'm starting to sound like Josh on Josh Gerardo. Homeless. This is another thing that bothers me because I know someone in homeless services and everyone calls it homeless. Everyone calls it homeless.
Yeah.
Homeless people, the homeless, transient population.
Well, honestly, like, are we talking about gypsies or something?
No, transient just means, that's in part gypsies, I guess. Or gypsy, you can't say. You're supposed to say something else. Travelers.
Person who gyps. I'm just kidding.
Person who travels. Everybody in the airplane. You fucking, you got a plane ticket? You fucking gypsy. I'm going to Austin to do a few shows. Well, yeah, right. You fucking gypsy.
Yeah, right. Is that where the gold's at?
What are you a client who's accessing homeless services?
Yeah.
People experiencing unsheltered homelessness. That sounds so much worse.
Yeah.
People experiencing unsheltered homelessness sounds like a horror movie.
I mean, do you really have to put it down? Like, I mean, you don't have to spell it all out for people, dude.
No, you don't. People aren't dumb. They know. And also, like, people outside aren't like hearing you say homeless and, man.
So let me get this straight,
I'm just a
Brendan.
person experiencing homelessness.
You're homeless, right? Do you happen to be unsheltered also?
Yeah. Everyone who's homeless is a person who's experiencing homelessness.
Yes.
Whether it's like a small time frame, you don't have a home for a day or whatever. The homeless is like usually talking specifically about someone who lives on the streets, right? But a person experiencing unstable housing, that could be anybody. That could be someone who can't pay the rent 1 month.
Yeah.
So there's a difference there. So that's also a little bit weird to me. Just that there's like you say homeless, that's like the guy in the street who's like with the sign. Or like just,
Oh my God. I was about to say that there might be something I agree with here. And then I read the exceptions for the words and it's just even worse, dude. We'll get there.
Yeah.
For the next one, it's you're not supposed to say poverty stricken or the poor people, which, all the other answers for that one are basically like homelessness. It's like, people with lower incomes, households with incomes below the federal poverty level.
What's that show that Buster Brown put me on that we talked about? It's like in Hollywood, Buster and
Accidental
Mario.
Chaos?
Yeah. So you could just put accidental chaos for all of these. People experiencing shows at accidental chaos.
But now this is probably one we can get in trouble for. The next section here, mental health, behavioral health, right?
Okay, so we should be very careful with this one.
But, okay, this is my question to you, Brendan. Listen, I don't want to call people crazy, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like like if you're experiencing craziness from another person and you feel like this person's fucking crazy, the last thing you want to accuse them of is having mental health issues. You know what I mean?
I think it would be funny if you were in a situation where, like you just described, where you're in danger and you were like trying to be very politically correct. Like they're coming up with you with a knife and they're like, listen, I know you have a pre-existing mental health disorder. They're like yelling at you, I know that you are the fifth moon of the sun, and
I understand you're a person with the diagnosis of a mental illness or mental health
disorder.
Like
stabbing you, and you're like, I understand that you're a diagnosis of like. So asylum, obviously, like, does those things even exist anymore? No.
I mean, no. We fucking Arkham Asylum, dude.
If you're saying asylum, you're probably like,
same thing with like an orphanage. Orphanages don't exist anymore. We call them foster care.
Oh, really?
Did you not know that? Because we found that out on Josh Bardo way back in the day.
No, I didn't know that.
Orphanages haven't existed since like the 20s or something.
So people just go into foster care?
I could be wrong, dude. Too. By
There's probably like some sort of social services thing.
Yeah, I mean, out in like the Czech Republic, they probably still got orphanages.
One of the places that we went to in Bakersfield was a family shelter. So like they would help people out that were like in situations where they couldn't afford, or maybe they had some abuse.
Yeah.
So the families would have somewhere to stay. Whatchamacallit, suffers from or is afflicted with. They really don't like this word afflicted. Yeah. Suffers from. So crazy, like, I mean, we're just not going to be able to get away with that or get away from that word. Crazy is like a word we use all the time. Yeah. You said crazy, you might, this party's crazy.
Yeah, this party has mental disorders.
This chick, my ex is crazy. Not my ex, but I'm just,
Dude, this is a party with mental illness, baby.
Guys and girls both say that their significant others are crazy all the time.
Yeah, my girlfriend's fucking crazy, dude. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I didn't mean that.
I didn't mean, I swear. Oh my God. She said she's a person who has a diagnosis of mental illness. That would be so much worse.
That's
Listen,
what I'm saying.
My wife, dude, she has a mental health disorder, behavioral health disorder. She belongs not in an asylum. I'm woke. She belongs in a psychiatric hospital facility.
Also, okay, so the ones we're not allowed to say here, because I got stuck on crazy right when I saw it.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to say mentally ill, crazy, insane, mental defect, suffers from or is afflicted with quote unquote condition.
They should have an explanation of why you're not allowed to say mentally ill, because I mean, if someone's mentally ill, they're mentally ill. Again, not a bad thing. It just is. Yeah. It's just a fact. And when I say not a bad thing, I mean not morally bad. It's just a fact of life that anybody could be mentally ill at any time. You never know. Who knows how this shit works? Your brain goes, haywire or whatever. Yeah. And then you end up hosting Issimo Pod. I give up. I was trying to think of a better example, but I just went ahead and made fun of Gerardo again. Is there anyone? Are there more? Or is that it?
Well, the notes here say, mental illness is referring to, for example, consider people with depression or obsessive compulsive disorder.
This whole section could just say flappers.
You really like that joke, huh?
I know. I'm just trying to get back to the.
Dude, that's a great bit. If you just put like flappers for one,
Yeah, instead of saying flappers, say club that smells like fucking butthole.
Accidental chaos.
The income no one will even know what accidental chaos is. Yeah. Instead of saying accidental chaos, say show where you're not allowed in the green room. Non-U.S. born person's immigration status. Illegals, well, that one, yeah, I think that can go. Illegal immigrants, illegal aliens, illegal migrants. They just keep going on. Illegal this, illegal that. They're like, wait, no one's saying illegal Mexicans. Foreigners, the foreign born. I don't know why foreigners and the foreign born are bad.
Daddy, can you tell me about why the foreign born are so bad again?
But isn't that any country? If you're not from it, you're foreign. Like, wouldn't I be foreign in fucking England? Yeah. Right? Yeah. I would be a foreigner, would I not? People with undocumented status.
So these are the ones you're supposed to say.
That's too long. Mixed status households. What?
Notice how people goes away. Like, all these do not say people anymore.
People goes away with us immigrants. They're not people.
That's fucking crazy.
That's a little, yeah. What's up, CDC? Yeah. You might get canceled up in this bitch by Raccoon Tweeties. Well, they're two woke hosts.
immigrant, migrant, asylee, or asylum seeker. You're allowed to say asylum now, dude?
All of a sudden.
Refugee, not a person who was a refugee.
Refugee. Non-U.S. born person, foreign born person.
I mean, they really want to say foreign born, but they don't want to put the foreign born.
So I don't know. I mean, the reason that illegals, it just sounds like they're not people anymore.
Yeah.
Illegals. Illegal immigrants, not as bad. I mean, it's just a description of like if you're, I guess, whatever. Illegal aliens. The only reason that people say that is just because it's been said so long. But I don't know if that's even offensive. I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's kind of like, I guess you could say like what is it called? Like a Bill Burr joke where it's like, it's not about saying illegal immigrant. It's about how you say it. So you could be like, hey, Brandon, are you an illegal immigrant? Or like, hey, motherfucker, you an illegal immigrant or what? You know?
I guess you're right. I wouldn't ever say like, are you an illegal immigrant? I might say, I like if I were talking to somebody, we're in a conversation and they were talking about it. And I wanted to know, I was like, oh, so you're not a citizen. I might say something like that, which I don't think is offensive. Guy at Accidental Chaos of all places, this guy was talking to us. He was a funny guy. I don't remember his name, and I shouldn't say it even if I did.
Stop.
But he was like, he was telling us about how he got in. Did I tell you that story?
I think so, but keep going.
I don't even remember the full thing, so I'll probably bomb out of it. But he was like, he got caught. He got like in a car accident. And he didn't have his papers with it because he's not a citizen. Mm-hmm. And he was like, we were like, oh man, that sucks, dude. Because the cops came and he was like, yeah, man. And I was like, I've been drinking. And we're like, okay, it's still not, that makes it a little worse. And he's like, yeah. And Joel Jimenez was like, he's like, well, you can refuse a breathalyzer.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, yeah, I know, but I was on cocaine. So he's like on everything, dude. And we were like, oh man, so you don't have your citizenship or whatever? He's like, yeah, I got these meetings and I immigrate. He was telling us about his immigration attorney and all this shit. So I should have said, so you're someone who's with undocumented status.
You're in a migrant household.
He would have called me the F word if I said that. He'd be like, what are you saying? And then done coke. But yeah, I don't know, man. Mixed status household. I don't even know what that fucking means. Nobody knows what that means.
I mean, this whole list so far is kind of bogus. It doesn't give good alternatives. The words that they put in there to say not to say is how we've survived fucking, I'm an idiot, by the way, but,
if I said, I guess immigrant is an okay thing, because that's probably what I would say. Like, I wouldn't like, if you were talking to a crowd of like an undocumented crowd in stand-up, you might say like, you probably wouldn't say any of this. You just probably be like, a lot of Latino people here or something if you're addressing them.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be like, a lot of undocumented. But if you were to say, I see there's a lot of non-U.S. born persons, that would be weird as fuck.
Also, right? I gotta say, foreign born, it sounds like you're a Skyrim character, dog. You know what I mean?
I don't play enough, but maybe you're right. I don't play that game.
Also, I want to tell a story that back in 2014, when I first started stand-up, I had this joke about how my favorite part of The Godfather 3 was when Michael Corleone turned into a woman.
What?
He's like, just when I get out of that dress, they pull me back in. You know what I mean?
I don't get it.
I was first year doing stand-up, so this is why it's
that's not more offensive than all the words.
Yes, but the joke originally had transsexual in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was 2014. I was 24 years old, and I had just got done working in kitchens for like fucking 8 years, right?
Right.
So I say transsexual, and a trans person that was in the crowd told me, like, you can't say that, you have to say transgender, right? And they did it in a very nice way, right? And since then, I've had a joke about how, AI or transgenders are beating AI to the singularity, right? Now somebody tells me that you can't say transgender, you have to say trans person, right?
Oh,
now
I didn't know any of that.
There's plausible deniability that these things hurt people. You know what I mean? No, wait, is that the right way of saying that?
If somebody were to tell me, this is the right way to say it, it offends me, I'd be like, okay.
Especially because there were those people. Like if a crazy
Unless
person,
it was like they were like, no, you have to say non-U.S. born, and it was like 17 words. I'd be like, I'm sorry, I can't do that.
Yeah,
I just don't have the time. Un botella de agua is too much.
but those things, it's like a person with that background had told me personally, don't do that, and I make steps to change it. Now, the second time when they said to trans person, not transgender, I'm like, what the? I just fucking fixed, this. But it was like a joking
It changes.
thing.
Yeah, it changes.
Yeah.
I mean, this list is very long.
But if a crazy person comes up to me and goes, dude, just accuse me of having a mental illness, dude. Don't call me crazy, please.
They stab you.
They say.
Are there any more
I'll show
categories?
you crazy. Let me see. Ready? Okay, so older adults. We don't really need to go over this.
No,
I'm just kidding.
boring.
But you're not supposed to say elderly, senior, frail, or fragile.
I do think that old people should be treated better in society.
Really?
I think that I don't think that like in America they're treated that great because they have all this wisdom and then people just write them off and don't listen to them.
Yeah.
What we should do is say, hey, you persons aged 55 to 64, tell us your thoughts on things, but also retire.
Yeah.
I mean, like maybe not 55, but if you're so for our elders or our elderly or frail elderly, frail elderly, why would you want to call them that? But for the elders, I think that there needs to be like a compromise here. We start treating you better, give you the services you need, listen to your advice, and follow it often because a lot of times it's good. But you agree to let us have jobs and houses and that kind of thing because it's like there's like give and take. Nobody ever retires anymore. We can't get jobs because there's someone in the way, and they shouldn't. These senators that are like 80 years old.
That's what I'm saying. The country's ran by an 80-year-old.
It shouldn't be.
Yeah.
It absolutely should not be. Joe Biden should not be president. He's too old. He sounds like a fucking idiot when he talks.
Yeah.
He sounds like a person experiencing homelessness. He's like, jabba, 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 jabba. Like half the shit he says is like so embarrassing. It's just not a good look. Like what Putin probably looks at him like, ha ha ha. Like how could he possibly think America will win?
I mean, how old is Putin?
He's pretty old too, but at least he's not like, Joe Biden. Joe Biden's like fucking, whatever. He's better than Trump, but that's not enough.
I don't know if Joe Biden's better than Trump, but and Trump's fucking terrible, dude.
Listen, Gerardo's one of my biggest fans. I've said it for a long time. I love Isimo Pat. Isimo Fresa. I mean, we love it, don't we, folks? It's sold out. You can't even get online. No, I can't get online.
What the fuck?
It's sold out.
Oh, I'll give you some.
Okay.
Jesus Christ, dude.
I ordered the coconut black tea or something like that.
Why didn't you get Domsy the Bombsy?
Because that one sounds gross.
It's the best one.
I don't like chocolate.
Okay, never mind then. If you don't like chocolate, that's a really,
chocolate tea does not sound good to me. I, of course, wanted to get a funny name one. Like if Domsy the Bombsy was coconut, I would have gotten it. But I got a coconut black tea. It sounds great. So I can't wait to take a picture of me drinking it.
They need to get one called Cokie the Pokey, dude.
Moving on.
Was that a bad word?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Instead of saying Cokie the Pokey, refer to it as high risk people, high risk population.
Tea that contains
high risk. What the fuck are they even talking about? That doesn't even skip.
Well, what's high risk people? What is that?
I don't know.
You should know.
Because I'm high risk. What am I at high risk for?
High risk.
I'm high risk for being funny.
High risk to make a flappers meme.
Yeah, high risk. If you follow me, you're high risk to see jokes about LA Voyage LA.
Race and ethnicity. I'll let you take this away, Brendan.
Race and so this section will really help Alan Strickland Williams a lot. Just kidding. He's not a racist. Referring to people as their race, ethnicity. Instead of this, so you can't call people black or Hispanic anymore, or Latino, or white. Well, there goes my whole act.
I like how they still put American Indians, even though we kind of got over that term like in the late 90s.
No one says that, dude. You gotta be fucking. Not even fucking Daniel Snyder, the owner of the Washington football team, or Washington Commanders now. Yeah. They should have, instead of saying Washington football team, say Commanders. Native American. You can't say Native. Well, you say natives, right? Is that what it is? Yeah, it says native.
Well,
no, it doesn't even have.
You're supposed to say indigenous.
Wait, indigenous for Native Americans? Or natives? Wrong? I don't know. I know that Caitlin says native. She's probably yelling at her when she hears it, she was so mad. She's like, the word is this.
She's a Native American, right?
Yeah, she's a native.
Okay.
Eskimo. Yeah, I knew that one. Oriental, it feels bad even saying that. Afro-American, no one has ever said that. That's not even been said. And then I'm not even going to say that one.
Yeah,
Caucasian, the community, the black community. You can't say the black community. Well, that might rub some black people wrong. Non-white? Why can't you say non-white?
I like how they don't include Asians at all. They don't say.
You can say not. I mean, like that BIPOC thing, Black, Indigenous, People of Color, or whatever.
BIPOC.
That's essentially saying non-black, right? If you're like the vice versa of that.
Non-BIPOC.
Well, I might say like non-white. Let's say non-white crowd if no one's white. So if you say someone's BIPOC or BIPOC crowd, that's obviously that's like saying that they're. Or I don't know where I'm going with that. I might just be falling asleep on the podcast. American, you can say American Indian. Oh, American Indian is what you're supposed to say? I thought you were supposed to say Native.
Dude, yeah, they're not Indians.
American Indian. I thought Indian was bad.
We should have
I didn't think it was bad, but I thought it was like, I don't even know.
We should have Caitlin Jeffers call in and tell us what's up.
Dude, this is fucking confusing as shit. The stuff just changes. It's like one day that's good, and the other thing, this is like Pacific Islander. Well, is anyone struggling with that?
They do include Oriental. So that's people used to say that, dude.
Yeah, I know that one's bad.
Dude, my fucking teachers used to say that.
White persons. My family is a family of white persons. People who are experiencing whiteness. People instead of saying white people, say people who are experiencing whiteness.
So basically just say black and persons, I guess. Instead of just saying blacks.
Yeah, I just don't think the weird thing to me is that saying black is bad. Like, why is that bad? That's what black people say. They say, oh, he's black. Isn't that what you say?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't get it.
I don't either. Let's skip this whole race thing
The
here.
CDC won't let me be white.
This one's for rural people.
Rural people. Farmers. Instead of saying rural people, say Josh's parents. Disgusting. Where the hell am I going now? People who live in rural, sparsely populated areas. Residents' populations of rural communities. I almost said racial communities.
I like how this is the smallest section because they know that they're never going to get this.
Farmer, yeah. You have to like go out to the farm to like offend them.
Yeah.
Hey, rural folk.
They go into town and they find one of these papers of all these things to say.
How dare you call me rural?
What you mean I can't say confined to a wheelchair no more?
Listen here. You tell me I can't call myself a homosexual anymore? So the next one, that's the next sexual orientation and gender identity, which is...
I'll be honest, dude. Everyone could get better at this. You know why? Because I fucking suck at this shit, dude.
Well, this is the one where it's the newest shit, right? I think this is the newest stuff.
I'm not complaining. It's always changing. So, it's hard to keep up at times.
This changing, and the change here is good. We're not against the change here. Because people are more allowed to just say what they feel and think, and that's good.
Yeah.
So there's no, we're not, when we criticize this list, we're not criticizing what it's attempting to do, I guess.
We're also not criticizing the persons that have these things.
Yes, definitely not. But it's more like sort of just, regular thinking, I think, on there's too many words.
They're telling us not to say biologically male anymore.
Is that one of the things?
Yeah.
But I thought that's what you're supposed to say.
That's what, yeah.
I would never have said biologically male had someone not suggested that online. I never would have been like, they're biologically female. But that's like what the news says. That's the only reason that. Okay.
It's crazy.
Gendered pronouns. Oh, you can't put what? But they put that in their profiles. He, she, his or her. You can't say that. Gendered. No one says gendered.
You know what, dude? Take it away, Brendan. I'm going to stay quiet.
Binary language when not necessary. Sexual preference, which is used to suggest someone's sexual identity, is a choice and therefore should be discharged. Oh, I've heard of that one. Sexual preference, because it's like, it's not a choice. But what if it is a choice? Can it be a choice?
Yeah, I
don't think it's bad if you choose one. But I guess it is inherent in most people.
It's inherent that you probably want something, right? But then the choice is like who you have it with.
The choice is yours.
Right? Like if I'm a gay guy, which sorry if that offends anyone.
Right.
If I'm a gay guy, I'm like,
hello.
Fuck Brandon, dude. He don't got it. I don't prefer him sexually. But you know, this guy over here, I was gonna say Luke Schwartz, but that's fucked up. I don't want to say that.
Damn,
Yeah.
Luke, you come here, you might get fucked by Jaro. Try this. So I don't want to call. I mean, I guess if you want me to call you LGBTQ, I will. But it feels weird to just attack you with the alphabet like that.
Yeah.
Lesbian, gay, bisexual. Well, that is the normal thing, I think.
But what happened to person who is lesbian, person who is gay?
What does using MSM mean?
The men's sex with men.
Yeah, but what is it? Who using? That's a guy who's using MSM. What is that?
To mean people who report being male at birth and having had sex with a person who was male at birth regardless of self-identified sexual orientation.
That sounds like an SAT question.
Dude.
Where you got to circle something, you know?
I
That's too
mean, I
much.
have to take 2 breaths just to say all that.
Queer, pansexual, asexual, transgender. So all those things I knew. Gender nonconforming. I knew that. Two-spirit. This is what I was reading. I was like, what does that mean? Two-spirit.
Two-spirit. Oh my God.
Non-binary, I know. Genderqueer, I don't really know what that means. Gender diverse, don't understand that.
Can I ask you a question? When you see all these, I'm not going to say choices, but when you see all these different identities,
It does remind me of a diner menu. Yes. No, what are we at the Cheesecake Factory? That's so dumb. I'm like no smarter than some of the people I criticize.
no. So when you see all these identities, do you ever feel like, hey, dude, I might be fucking asexual, or I might be non-binary, or I might be this, I might be that? Do you feel like that?
No. I mean, definitely not asexual. And non-binary, like I'm not sure if I'm a man or a woman. I guess I'm pretty sure I'm a man. Mm-hmm. You know what Bianca said? I shouldn't say it. Never mind. Moving on. Not going to say people's view. She's very woke. I don't know. Why, do you ever feel like these?
No.
Yeah.
I
just feel like I'm me. I gotta be me.
You know,
I gotta be me.
I wouldn't mind somebody trying to tell me like why I'm wrong, like for feeling that way and being like trying to crack this fucking egg open. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because then maybe I go up and down this list, dude. You know what I mean?
I don't like labels.
Yeah.
Usually.
Same.
What does it matter? But the labels may be important to people because they feel like they're way different or something. Mm-hmm. Then I don't even think I'm the norm, though. I was about to say different than the norm. I don't look at myself and some of the things I do and go, that's a normal guy right there.
Yeah.
But I'm not two-spirit. I gender non-conforming. I guess I conform to being a man. I guess I was designated male at birth.
The closest thing I feel to any of these is two-spirit. I don't even know what the fuck that means.
Two-spirit does sound pretty cool.
Yeah.
There's 2 wolves inside you.
I mean, when you drink, you become a different person, dude.
Me specifically?
Yeah.
You're not even around me when I drink, man. You wouldn't even know.
I'm just
Couldn't
kidding.
even handle
But
me.
I'm a different person when I drink.
Yeah.
I'm two spirits.
We don't even know what two spirits means.
I know, but like just the
I want to isolate that clip, the two spirits, and then we find out what it really means, and you're like, really, like, oh shit, I'm not that.
I'm a murderer.
How much time have we done?
An hour.
All right, let's go into the tweets. We've done enough of damage to our
Is there
careers
any
and
more?
futures. I can't read it anymore.
Working partners, stakeholder. You can't even say stakeholder anymore.
Stakeholder.
Got questions? I like how they put that at the end. Yo, you got any problems with this list here?
You got any problems?
Put it in our inbox.
Gerardo's going to jail tonight. All right, checking in with Scott.
Checking in with Scott.
Oh, I was checking in with the Lurs man. Birthday coming up, so early happy birthday to him. Someone just said they don't like East LA because you can't do blow out in the open, which makes me think he's never been to East LA. I like it. I don't know. Have you ever, you're someone who's done blow. You ever done blow in East LA?
I don't think so. I don't remember a lot of those times.
I know, right? You don't even know.
Yeah.
You're like, I'll tell you where I did do blow. Accidental chaos. All right. I don't know. I just don't know much about cocaine culture, you know?
No, I mean, I've gone to a lot of places, and there's one time where I went somewhere and got in a fight outside. I didn't know where I was, and they wouldn't let me back in the party because I got in a fight.
Mm-hmm.
And my homie left because I was fighting him. And so I was stranded outside, and they called the police, and the police took me somewhere. And then I shared my location with one of my roommates, and they came pick me up.
Never try cocaine, kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn, dog. I'm glad you're sober now.
Shout out Scott.
He's the guy who picked you up?
No, he just tweeted that.
All right. Is Heather okay? Checking in with Heather to make sure she's okay.
Not like.
Not likely. Thinking about how my ex would brag about how successful and rich he was, but then conveniently forgot his wallet whenever we went out to eat. Oh, man. So sounds like this guy's not rich or successful. So he forgot his wallet multiple times? That's a red flag, right?
Yeah.
How many times can you forget to pay for dinner when you're dating a woman? Not many before it's weird.
I mean, let's be honest. If I forget my wallet when I go on a date, I never expect to see that woman again, dude.
I've never forgot my wallet with a woman. Because
I have a really good habit of not forgetting my wallet.
Yeah, I don't really forget. I mean, who goes out with other wallet?
Yeah.
You have to have your
A
wallet.
shitty guy, dude.
I would just go back home to get the wallet.
A person who suffers from shittiness.
Yeah, it sounds like he's lying. Now that we've talked it out,
Yeah.
I immediately realized that was a lie. Sorry, Heather. You'll find a better guy. All right. Well, thank you for joining us on Raccoon Tweeties. We hopefully didn't cancel ourselves. If you are offended by any of this, yo, dude, take it up with the fucking other comic, bro.
And I take back everything I said if it offended you.
Yeah, me too.
I do too.
I do. Oh, yeah. Instead of saying me too, say I do too.
All right. Later, guys.
All right.